CM 365, all about Carnatic music.
Recently, I was talking to one of my friend, and she is actually a fairly well accomplished musician with about 30 years of service to music, a very dedicated and committed person who has actually devoted a lot of time in terms of pursuing music seriously, I would say. But as we were conversing, she said, "Well, Radha, I have put in so many years of hard work into music, but somehow I've never been able to become popular." Now, this really set me thinking in terms of what is popularity all about actually. And is the popularity quotient actually very important for an artist in terms of his growth as well? In the music field, or for that matter in any field, what do we mean by popularity? It means that you as a person are liked by many of a particular group, and you also have a great mass following for all that you've been doing. The person who is popular actually is held in high esteem by the group, which appreciates, applauds, and actually kinds of takes pleasure in all the work that is being done by that particular artist. Well known, renowned, popular, all of them actually really mean the same thing. The next question, of course, from what I was talking to my friend, the next question which arose in my mind is, how does one actually become popular? Is it the quality of the work that actually makes you popular? Or is it the kind of connect the artist is able to make with the people through his work? Or is it that you are able to do things that please the audience, that entertains the audience and keeps them happy? So which of these factors actually help towards making an artist popular? Well, of course, this is a very tricky question and there is really no singular answer to this as well, because of the fact that you may produce very high quality work, but that may not actually make you popular. On the contrast, you may do something very, very ordinary, but then you may bring about a twist to the dimension of what you have been doing. And immediately what happens, you are able to connect with the audience, which start following you, and then you really become popular. In fact, we see that high levels of music, which is steeped in deep classical values, have never had really many takers. And thus, we could say that the practitioners of such music of deep classical values have never really been very popular, and they have always been known only within a small group, a small connoisseurs group, I would say. Whereas we see that musicians who have studied the audience, now the audience psychology is very, very important, I would say. Understanding the audience, the pulse of the audience is very important for an artist to become popular, because in trying to understand the taste of the audience, what he does is to actually, he gauges their needs and he tailors his music accordingly so that he is able to please the audience. So we could say that it is an art and craft to be able to produce good music which will reach a large audience and make you popular. I was also thinking about how a popular artist feels about himself, unlike an ordinary artist. In the case of popular artists, we see that the first thing is that definitely they hold themselves in a very high esteem, and they think a lot about themselves, definitely. And they also have a sense of confidence on the content that they are delivering. They also have a conviction that whatever they are delivering actually is what will sell well. Now, what am I talking about selling music, you may think? While we do have the elements of bhakti, spiritualism and all that other things going into our music, it is definitely a commodity like any other today, where you really need to produce material which will sell well in order to become popular. The next thing, of course, for a popular artist is that once he climbs a ladder of success, he can't be actually very contented and happy about it. He has to consistently work on it, and working on it does not actually mean just about working on his music, but it also means working on the public relations aspect, working on creating new dimensions to his work, and also being today, in today's context, also being very socially active. So there are many things which a popular artist need to be consistently working on in order to maintain that popularity quotient. Now it is also interesting, as I mentioned earlier, that it is a group that makes you popular. So when you actually come out of that group, it is very kind of interesting to note that you are no more popular. I'll give you a small example for this. Once I was to attend a meeting. I was in the expert committee of one reputed organization in Delhi. So in that particular committee, there were many more world-renowned artists as well. One of the artists actually traveled along with me in the flight. And I, as a musician, since I knew her capacity as a very popular and renowned musician, I was definitely happy, I would say, that I was having the opportunity to travel with her. But quite weirdly, I also sensed that all the others in the flight, actually, none of them recognized her, nor did they acknowledge her. So this was because of the fact that this group was not a part of the group which actually led to her becoming a popular person. This is a totally different group which does not have any connect with music itself. So that was the reason that she was not recognized by this particular group. So here again it's very interesting to also see how the popularity quotient matters in different contexts. One more incident I'd like to share with you is what happened in our own Sabha, when a very popular duo were performing a concert, and before the concert, one young little girl, she walked into the auditorium. And everybody started looking at her and they were whispering something and saying something. I was not able to understand what was happening. And then a friend of mine who was standing near me, I asked her, well, what is this? Why are people so excited about the whole thing when the girl came in? Then my friend said, don't you know, she is the top singer, top winner in this one particular reality show. She mentioned and said, she is the winner of that particular very popular reality show. Now, I am one person who does not watch any of these reality shows. So I do not know any of the people in that particular domain. So this particular girl or her popularity actually did not bear any relevance to me at all. So thus we see that popularity is something which is created by the group which surrounds you. And again, popularity is a very great illusion also, I would say, like a mirage, where when you try to go near it, it actually goes further away from you. And this popularity is also not something which is cherished or which can be enjoyed by an artist all through his life. And this we have seen many examples of artists who have been at the peak of their career, but as they keep aging, people really do not hail them as a popular star anymore, and they are treated like any other ordinary person. So this high and lows of popularity is something, it's defined by life itself. And also, of course, even for a popular artist, we see that he may be ruling supreme in the field, but suddenly, like a storm, if somebody more talented than him comes into the field, he gets sidelined. So these are all some very, very, kind of peculiar things about the popularity quotient. Thus, we could say that popularity is indeed a weird phenomenon. And we must understand that however popular we become in the field, it is very, very important for us to remain grounded and humble, and always remember, as I always keep quoting, that no artist is ever greater than the art he pursues. So when we understand this, I'm sure that all this popularity quotient will be taken by us as just another natural process of our growth in music.
CM 365, all about Carnatic music.